Indeed,
is the case. Well, all right.
All right, moving on. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has called on states and local government authorities to evaluate their situation and take adequate precautions following the rapid release of water from Lagdo Dam and the flooding of communities along the banks of River Benue. Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Habib, said the agency has been alerted on the increased displacement of communities and farmlands along the bank of River Niger in Adamawa, Taraba, and Benue states. The agency says affected areas must be on guard to avoid displacement of communities and crops.
The update from NEMA is that the agency has been alerted on the sudden increased inundation of riparian communities and farmlands along the banks of River Niger in Adamawa, Taraba, and Benue states in the past 48 hours. The sudden situation is attributed to the rapid release of waters from Lagdo Dam in the Republic of Cameroon and has resulted in the displacement of several inhabitants of the affected communities. Furthermore, croplands and vulnerable infrastructure are at risk of getting washed away by floodwaters. Situation reports from Adamawa State confirms the upsurge of floodwaters along the floodplains of River Benue. The situation is expected to be replicated in downstream states of Taraba, Benue, Nasarawa, Kogi, Anambra, Edo, Delta, and Bayelsa states, as of the River Benue joins River Niger and flows to the Atlantic Ocean through the Niger Delta.
All right, Steve. I mean, I think this is such an important call.
Yes.
If you recall, we always talk about preparation before the flooding. It's important that NEMA is calling, you know, for these states to prepare because of the opening of the Cameroon Lagdo Dam, which has been quite controversial, hasn't it, Steve?
It has been.
Yes.
I mean, for a while now, anytime that the dam, you know, is open, we know that the consequences that we will suffer, especially for the three states that, you know, NEMA mentioned, Adamawa, Taraba, and, you know, up to Benue, I believe. So what they have done is quite in order. Is the proper thing to do, as you will find in you know, any serious country. When there are things that you may not have total control over, especially when it is nature, you know. So NEMA is one, and they are taking it beyond those three states to say that yes, the Lagdo Dam might be an issue, but generally too, in terms of flooding, given the season that we are in, there are many states, up to 16 states in the Federation, that will need to be careful. So I hope that each state will have their own sort of rescue teams, you know, ready teams that, you know, if evacuation will be necessary, for example. I like the fact that Lagos State has been, you know, making that call lately, and we see what the gentleman in the Environment Ministry, Tokunbo Wahab, for example, is doing, you know, going from point A to B, you know, covering all areas just to ensure that man-made errors do not add to the things that you encounter when nature decides to kind of go haywire. So this is the season. We have been warned. People too will have to conform and ensure that their environment, you know, is in order.
Absolutely. Well said, Steve.